Well, hey, how you doing? Welcome to the Bass Racing League, where Brian gets to sit here and rant about free agency for the next 20 or so hours. The Bass Racing League free agency has gone on with great success and great reviews of absolute insanity and stupidity across all levels of ownership. It has been phenomenal. If you'd like to join in on the stupidity, links down below, and whatnot to a bunch of different things. However, let's just jump straight away into this thing. Let me get my notes out for you because we got to start out with Sly Racing, Foolery, of course, our favorite thing. There you go, Sly Racing, Foolery. So, last time when we recorded this, we didn't exactly know what Sly Racing was doing in terms of their truck seats. They had two truck seats open. Two. You can see. There you go. Two truck seats open. So we didn't know exactly what was going on there. Well, soon after, we quickly found out what Sly Racing's game plan was because they've decided to fill them with AJ Ajak and Knightley Anderson. Now, you may be saying, who? You may also be saying, whomst? And that's exactly what the most of the Bass Racing League drivers and owners are saying. A top team has decided to take their bum truck program and put two rookies in them. AJ Ajak, at least at the very least, has made or attempted to make a race. He filled in the 35 Charlotte Motorsports entry at Memphis after Charlotte Gilker was injured and Emmanuel Bond switched over to that car. Complicated, doesn't matter. It DNQ'd. Knightley Anderson has not raced. Not been contracted, not nothing. And they have been put into bum truck entries. Because why would you ever bring your lump car drivers up? I mean, you are already bringing up Dean. So I don't exactly understand why you just didn't put him in a full-time Sly Racing ride. There's a reason why there was a thing called Sly Racing Tomfoolery on this channel. However, when we're not yapping about Sly Racing Tomfoolery, I was not expecting this to make a secondary segment. Two segments in a row here. Beast Racing, what the hell are you doing? Beast Racing and Silver Lightning Racing apparently have just decided that they are going to be best friends. Why? Because it was shortly announced that Beast Racing has signed Joseph Kiki to a Lumcar contract after he got fired from Silver Lightning Racing. Now, what is the big problem with Joseph Kiki? Well, you see his stats are appearing somewhere, either over my face or somewhere here. You'll notice that, he's got a win. Sure. But he's got nothing else outside of that. He had a very bad rookie season. Why is he in a Beast Racing ride? And then, we question even more because there was a trade. Ooh. Where we got to see Badger Sickle go to Beast Racing for $650,000. I understand Badger Sickle has not had the best career. I mean, you can take actually I got it here. You can look at his bum truck and lum car stats over the past two seasons, and you would realize that he's just not that great. He's a solid speedway guy. But if you were going to spend $650,000 on him, why did you just not re-sign King David, who was far better in the same equipment last season when they were both together at Team Big Apple Racing, excuse me. And then, King David was really good for you, for Beast Racing and Lumcar. Why didn't you keep him? I don't know. Logic is apparently not going. I mean, King David was only $200,000 more dollars. So, logic isn't flowing to me. You could look at Badger Sickle's stats. He got a win in Bone Truck at Charlotte. And to be honest, a very good performance. So, what this indication is of these two moves, okay, is they are trying to create more Reed Allens. What does that mean? Well, you look at Reed Allen's season 1 stats, right? Inconsistent. He had flashes, very big flashes, and then he would wreck a lot. Then he got signed to Beast Racing full-time in Bum Car. 2 years later, he becomes a world champion. So clearly, Beast Racing are trying to do this again with prospects. Both drivers who have won races. So maybe this play will work. Maybe they can bring up some more Reed Allens, or they're going to have another Casey on their hands. It's insane. And then they have signed Anderbar to race in part-time lump car races for Beast Racing and a 5th entry. Road course races, I'm guessing, is what's going to happen there. When I asked the question, why? Anderbar has only one career achievement. One career achievement. Outside of him DQing every race in Season 2 and then turning around in Season 3 for Packing Motorsports and packing it up into a hauler most races because of how much he sucked and was slow. His only achievement was he got pole position for Watkins Glen. He led the first few laps. And then next thing you know, going down into turn 1 under caution, he spins the car into a wall, and that was the end of his race. From the lead. How is this Beast Racing worthy? Mind you, this is a team that won 5 of the 6 championships last season. How is that Beast Racing worthy? I don't know. I don't get it. However, while Sly Racing and Beast Racing are looking like absolute buffoons right now, you know who's not looking like an absolute buffoon? That's Savage Racing and Dodge. They have done a phenomenal job this offseason, basically by laying low and just kind of watching everyone else self-obliterate. Taking a look at their moves here. Okay, Packing Motorsports kind of was the baby, not the baby, but basically a baby that continuously last season got punted by the rest of the field. It was not pretty. The 25, which was originally supposed to go full-time for Isabel, and then 2-3 races passed, and that did not happen. They changed that up real fast. Because why not? And then that became Logan Long's. Well, actually, they changed it up because CKA Racing and Savage Racing, a bunch of Dodge agreements, basically. But then you put Logan Long into the car force full-time. And Logan Long does not do anything in that car. Then you have the 52 as a full-time, multi-driver, all-star car, which was not very all-star worthy, okay? Hopefully I remember to put the stats right here because, trust me, it was not all-star worthy. So they go out there. They need full-time drivers. Isabel's not there. Logan Long, we don't actually know what's going on with him. We'll get to that in a second. They get Gavin Graves and Nathan. Now, I got a few issues with this. I have a few issues, but I also have a lot of praise for this move. Number 1, Gavin Graves, raced with Beast Racing. Here's his stats over his time with Beast Racing. He was not the greatest, but he had a lot of raw speed. Kind of the same thing that we were talking about with Reed Allen earlier. However, Reed Allen developed into a champion. Gavin Graves, it didn't really go anywhere. Very fast. He will qualify that car. I'm very sure of it. However, he's probably going to have some issues in terms of the main event because he's probably going to wreck a few times. That was the big issue. That's why he got fired from Beast Racing and wasn't re-signed. However, he brings sponsorship to Packing Motorsports to get better, so I like that move. Nathan. I like this move of picking up Nathan. Nathan last season in Season 1 of Bump Truck, Season 2 of the Bass Racing League, did phenomenal. Top 10 points finish. Just a very clean, all-around good season for him. And it's because he kept his car clean and he was able to sight through and get good results. However, this past season, same car, same everything, it did not go good. he kind of got outpaced in general by his teammate Aldry. Didn't keep the car clean, and therefore he did not get the results that he was getting. However, here's the thing. He's consistent, and maybe this was just a bad season. On the flip coin of that, that could be the norm, and 2 seasons ago could have been a fluke. I don't know. Now, in terms of Logan Long here, we don't exactly know what is up. If he's going to be returning, if he's been released, if he's going to Savage Racing, we don't know. Not a clue. However, speaking of babies, welcome to the new Dodge team, formerly the sister team to Beast Racing themselves, Red Bull Racing, or if they are, there's a rumor that they may be potentially changing the name. We don't know. Anyway, they have also had a phenomenal free agency here. They didn't have any drivers. Didn't look like they were going to get really anything. And then Sean decided to opt into a contract with them. If you remember anything from kind of a lot of legal battles from the end of the Bass Racing League season this past year, excuse me. Red Bull Racing drivers and Beast Racing drivers had to opt into contracts with their respective team. So you could go to Red Bull Racing or you can go to Beast Racing. And Sean, who has been with Beast Racing, you could see my whole rant the last video about this. Sean was been a phenomenal Beast Racing driver, multi-time winner, big stats guy, finished 4th in points this past year. He opts into a contract with Red Bull Racing because he wants to be the number 1 driver, which is insane. And it's a good move. This is a building block for Red Bull Racing. I love this move. And then in the second car, they get the Season 1 Bass Racing League champion of Mama Beast. And to me, that's just insanity. No way. No way, I said. You're going to get multi-time winners. You're going to get so much talent in that car. You have a champion and a perennial championship contender in that car, and you're moving over to Dodge. It's a brilliant move. I love this move for Red Bull Racing, whatever that team's going to be called. And then Savage Racing. Really haven't had to do a whole lot. They sent Coolby down to Lumcar, re-signed him and sent him down to Lumcar, which is truthfully exactly what was needed. And then they paid the big bucks for Laney. Now, was this an overpay for Laney? 3 years, I believe, $4.2 million was the dealio. Yeah, $4.2 million over 3 years. Insane contract. Is an overpay? Yes. But is her talent worth it? Yes. She is a phenomenal driver. She has kept that. She did some part-time starts in that 52 for Pack Motorsports. Did phenomenal. Has done great for a Savage Racing Truck Series program that isn't that good. So not only did they not sacrifice their bum car lineup of Cody Goforth, Noah Gideon Strutz, and Aiden Turner, a championship, team championship winning driver lineup, they didn't sacrifice that at all. And even at that, they're going to be stronger because they have Laney, who's now going to remain in Bum Truck for another year. They get a big name. Like, Laney's going to contend for a Truck Series championship this year. No doubt in my mind. She's going to go after a Truck Series championship. She's going to be a contender. And then next season, when the deal is to get called up to Bum Car, there's a very good chance that she's going to be quickly a race winner. I think, like I said, Dodge has absolutely succeeded in this season. Now, we got one more deal I would like to talk about. Let me see if I can find the exacts of the deal. Here we go. PPA Motorsports, a one-car Pontiac operation in Bumcar. They have like Fort Cars and Lumcar, but we're not talking about that right now. We're not focused on that. Have signed Adelaide to drive full-time in a second Bumcar ride. And Adelaide is a very interesting prospect. Stats right here from 2 years ago. First season was in Big Apple Racing equipment, which was significantly worse than any of the Silver Lightning Racing equipment. And Adelaide did phenomenal. Was absolutely brilliant and put himself into a position where coming into the season, we were very, very confident that another good season this year, and it would be Bumcar, full-time Bumcar racing for Silver Lightning Racing. He would get called up, right? That kind of felt like the logical way here after his great performances. If he had a good season. Because he did not. Instead, he struggled this past season. I don't know what it was. He was just not consistent. In fact, his stats were a lot worse than him being in Big Apple Racing equipment. He went from Big Apple Racing to Silver Lightning Racing, and he got worse somehow. So I don't know what happened there. He's just inconsistent. He's got a lot of raw speed, but he just cannot put it together. And he couldn't put it together enough this season to the point where he basically lost out on any prospect of getting a full-time Bumcar ride with Silver Lightning Racing. To the point where they kind of didn't really want to re-sign him. There's a lot of potential in Adelaide. That's why a team like PPA Motorsports, Pontiac's team, is going to take a shot. They are going to be the ones who are going to take a stab. And I like this move. That's an unprotected car. It's going to have to race his way in. It's going to be a little bit difficult. Adelaide's inconsistent, but when he's on, he is one of the fastest drivers in the Bass Racing League. Bar none. And we saw with Aiden Box, who we've had the same critiques with over the past 2 seasons in the Bass Racing League, in Bumcar. Season 1 and Season 2 had the same critiques. Not consistent, but when he's on, he's one of the fastest drivers. With PPA Motorsports this past season, he was on it a lot more. He was consistently really solid. If they can do the same thing for Adelaide here, Adelaide has a threat to not only get into the top 35 in points and get a protection to be guaranteed into every single race. That's a top 15 contender right there. Right out the gate, Season 1. And if it doesn't work, maybe Adelaide doesn't work out. Car isn't good, or Adelaide just doesn't live up to consistency. It's a very big boom or bust thing. However, you're not losing a whole lot if you are PPA Motorsports. Yes, you signed him to a big 3-year, $1.2 million contract. However, you can do a lot with Adelaide. He's going to have solid trade value if he can just give glimmers of hope in Bumcar. He's going to have good value. So for me, I think this is a brilliant move. And at the end of the day, like I said, he's inconsistent. But if he can hone in that consistency like Aiden Box did, like former PPA Motorsports drivers have, I think this is going to be a worthwhile move. But you know what? I'm more intrigued to see what the heck happens with the rest of the Bass Racing League. Because believe me, there's still plenty of free agents out there. There's still a lot of calamity to happen. So we will see how that goes from here. So ladies and gentlemen, I am Brian the Beast. This is the Bass Racing League. If you'd like to join, like I said, links down below. If you'd like to get in on the absolute nonsense. But as for me, see you guys next time. Peace.